Hi everyone, my name is Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, and today I have a book haul. I have been doing some book shopping, some for mandatory reads, some for pre-orders that are like anticipated reads, and then some just books that I bought because I wanted to. And I now have a stack that I would like to put away on my shelves. So let's dive in and see what I've been purchasing recently. The first 5 books that I'm going to talk about as a whole because it is an entire series, and that is the Chestnut Spring series. I am currently reading through this as part of Chestnut SpringsALong that is created by Claire and co-hosted by me and Leandra. We have read Flawless and already done a live show. I have read Heartless, and the live show for this is going to be on June 1st on this channel. And then every month subsequently, I will be reading another book in the series. So I've already read 2. I have 3 more to read. I'm enjoying it. One was a 3-star, one was a 5-star. Really enjoyed this one. Can't wait to discuss it with all of you on the live show. And really excited to continue down the path of Chestnut Springs. This follows the Easton family and their surrounding friends to some extent, and their romances. It's set mostly on the Easton family ranch, and it follows our Canadian cowboys. But I needed these, and I'm really glad that I have them. When I went into the bookstore the other week, I was looking at the sci-fi section so that I could prepare for some TAR reading, which is the Amazing Readathon. If you haven't checked out the Amazing Readathon, I will link it down below. I am the co-host for Team Sci-Fi, and I need lots of options because I have no idea what Bree is going to make me read. The first thing that caught my attention with this book was definitely the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's also illustrations inside the book. Again, another thing that got my attention. But it's also a gay sci-fi romance. So for June, it felt like a perfect fit to throw into my reading. So this seems to be a little bit of a climate fiction. It also has a romance element, and our main characters are Ethan and Javier. Javier's twin sister is Corinna, and she is the heiress to a pharmaceutical empire controlling Britain's water supply. London, due to the melting of ice caps and things and the rising of water, has almost gone underwater. So this company controls the water, but it also controls something called Project Earthflown, which is this infrastructure to keep the rising seas from taking over London. And there seems to be some corruption going on that Ethan starts to unearth while in his relationship. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I really do like the idea of more climate fiction. I've been enjoying reading climate fiction this year. Thank you, Leandra, for getting me onto that during TBR-a-thon. And I'm really hoping to get to this in June. We'll see. But that's my goal. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren is looking like a marriage of convenience, 2 ways romance. So it looks like Anna and Liam get married in college, but it's just for paper. It's just for paper so that Anna can get subsidized family housing from UCLA. Right after graduation, they signed divorce papers to end this. It was really just so they could get housing. 3 years after their divorce, Liam's grandfather dies and finds out there's something in the will that he needs to accomplish to get his inheritance, and that is to be happily married for 5 years. So Liam decides, we've already done a marriage of convenience once. Why don't we do it again and get remarried? And that's kind of the plot of this romance. I really do love marriage of convenience trope, so I'm hoping that I'll enjoy this, especially where it's kind of a second chance romance in a way, as well as a marriage of convenience. It's got a couple of interesting dynamics going on. 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland. I'm sure you've seen this going around BookTube because it is beautiful. And did I buy it because it was beautiful? Yes. Did I know anything about it when I bought it? No. Am I concerned if I will like it? Kind of. I've heard very mixed reviews, but you know what? I'm always going to buy the pretty books, and I will put them on my shelves. And one of these days, I will love the pretty books. And until then, I will just keep making them look pretty on my shelves because this book is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the sprayed edges on this book. It's so beautiful. Plus, we have Inside the Dust Jacket and also the naked hardback. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I've also heard that the audiobook for this has a full cast, which is very intriguing. So in this book, the king must die. Why he must die, I am unsure. I'm sure there's reasons. I'm sure he's corrupt. I'm sure there's reasons he needs to die. So the 5 best liars in all of the land are like summoned to come and kill the king. They start to plot, and basically it's like who can do the job, who can get the job done. So they're all kind of just like vying to be the one who kills the king. Why? Again, I can only get so much from the synopsis, but I'm really hoping I love this. But even if I don't, it's going to look absolutely gorgeous on my shelves. This next book I actually got at a thrift store thing that I went to a couple weeks ago, and it was Mooncakes. This is a graphic novel. I've heard great things about it, and I ended up getting it for 50 cents. It was quite the steal. I can always use graphic novels on my shelves for readathons or various things where I need a really quick read. So I was really happy to add this. Plus, it's witchy, so there we go. It looks like it's a romance between a witch and a werewolf, and it's sapphic. So lots of great things going on in this romance, and I'm excited to pick it up. I may end up reading this again during TAR. We'll see. It's a possibility, though. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo is a pre-order for me. It is one of my most anticipated fantasy releases of 2024. I'm very excited to read this in June as part of the B&K book club. We definitely will be reading this, and I'm so excited. This is a historical fantasy that takes place after the Spanish Armada, and we follow Luzia. Luzia is a scullion maid in a very prestigious house and uses some magical abilities that she has to kind of run the household and get her tasks done. The mistress of the house soon finds out that she has a maid that has magical abilities and starts to kind of use her to move the household forward in larger ways. However, soon the secretary to the Spanish king finds out about Luzia and her powers and ends up wanting to use her to gain favor with the king after the defeat of the war. Another future B&K book is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This book is a romance that happens every summer while Lucy goes to her vacation rental in Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island is actually really close to where I live, so it's nice to see a book set kind of where I can envision the places in this book. Every summer when Lucy goes to this, vacation rental, she sees Felix. When she meets Felix the first time, there's definitely some chemistry. What she doesn't know is that he is actually her best friend's younger brother. And kind of off limits, but, that doesn't really last. Every summer when Lucy goes, she says she's going to stay away from Felix, and that's harder to actually do than, she thinks it will be. And then one summer when her best friend, the sister to the man, Bridget, runs away from Toronto right before her wedding, Lucy follows her to Prince Edward Island, and I'm sure some things start coming to light around why her friend left her wedding, but also what is going on between Lucy and Felix. Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent is a book on my 12 books recommended by 12 friends by Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots. So now I finally have a copy so I can actually read it. So in this book, we obviously follow Sally, and Sally was adopted at the age of 7 and remembers nothing about her life prior. Probably has blocked some things out because something kind of major or traumatic has happened in her early childhood. Now at 43, some things are starting to come to light, and Sally is actually shoved into the media spotlight, and we kind of see Sally start to realize what happened to her prior to being adopted and what that means in the course of this news and media situation. This isn't in the synopsis of this book, so I had to double check that I was right, but I believe that the reason Sally got into the news in the first place and it started to kind of look at her was because she took her father very literally, who said to put him out in the trash when he died, and she actually does put him out in the trash. And there's a start to a book, for sure. I really want to know what happened to Sally when she was a child. I want to know about these family mysteries, and I'll hopefully get to this before the end of the year. The last book I picked up was A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I ended up finding a Silver Sprayed Edges copy of this book that was left at the bookstore, and I was very excited to find this because they are sold out, and I kind of missed out on this, so I'm very happy to finally have it in my stacks. This book, I wasn't initially sure if it was for me, but now that people have read it, a lot of people are saying it's very political, it's very mythological. Both things are things that I will enjoy, so I have actually very high hopes for this book. So the synopsis says, a shield maiden blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting his growing desire for his fiery son in this North-inspired fantasy romance. So the fantasy romance part was the part that was making me shy from picking this up. But the more I've heard about it and the more that people who know my reading taste have read it, the more I'm excited to add this to my, growing TBR. But that is the end of this book haul. Thank you so much for joining me. Have you read any of these? Were any of these like standout books for you? Let me know that I should pick them up sooner rather than later. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.